Hi, I'm Midge Shoemaker, and today is day 6 of my doing 100 days of YouTube videos and focusing on facing things that I have been avoiding. So, yay for day 6! I feel like all this is doing is just bringing up all the more things that I've been avoiding, and I feel like my sense of overwhelm and stress and anxiety levels are like going through the roof because of all the things that I'm avoiding and recognizing all the things that I'm avoiding and recognizing how many ways I avoid things every single day. And I avoid like very simple things like going to bed, getting sleep, brushing my teeth, making my videos, like eating food, going to the bathroom, like just basic everyday stuff I avoid, on top of all the other stuff that I've avoided and haven't done, like filing my taxes and cleaning my house and rearranging all of my stuff so my friend can move in here, and just writing my books and marketing my books and journaling and exercising and reaching out to my friends and being a good friend, being a good parent. I feel like I'm not a very good mom sometimes because my kids don't live with me and it's that whole out of sight, out of mind thing. And I think about them and I love them and I pray for them. I just don't talk to them on a daily basis. I don't, and I'll think about them, but I'll think about them at 2 o'clock in the morning, or I'll think about them at 5 o'clock when I'm going to work in the morning and it's too early to message them, or 10 o'clock at night when I'm going to bed and it's too late to say anything. So then I just feel like I'm not connected to them like I want to be, and that I'm not as close to them as I could be. And then I just spiral negatively in directions I should not be going and beating myself up for not being better or doing better when I know I'm capable of better. And then that sense of just, I don't know, not being, feeling like I'm not good enough and giving up just takes over, and the depression and the overwhelm, and it's just too much. And it's just like, and I just feel like I failed, and not just failed, but like epically failed, and my life is over and it's the end of the world. And I just overly dramatic in my brain. So today was one of those overly dramatic in my brain days, and I didn't sleep last night because I stayed up too late, like I'm doing again tonight. And then I got up too early because I had way too many things to do. But then I was too tired and I had no energy, and I was just like, I can't even function. And all I want to do is sleep, and I need to sleep. And my goal today was to not avoid sleeping, but to actually face the fact that I've been avoiding it and actually let myself sleep. That has not happened. So I did not I did not do that, which is what I wanted to do. I did post in my other video. I'm just gonna overlap a little bit. Um, I do have some uniforms that are in my bedroom that I need to get rid of from a job that I had like 6 years ago. So as part of trying to clean up my house, make room for my roommate, I didn't actually do anything with the uniforms. I just messaged somebody today that I used to work with and say, hey, what do I do with these old uniforms? I'm like, do you know what I do with these old uniforms? I don't know what to do with these old uniforms. I might end up just donating them because they're just taking up space and I don't want them. I just don't want to go back to my old job and say, have some uniforms. I could, and I probably should do that, but I just don't want to. Or I want to give them to somebody else that still works there and be like, here, I'll just give these to you and you can take them to work with you, because that feels better to me. Anyway, I don't know what I'm going to do with them at this point. I don't know if she's going to respond back to me. I don't have any idea. I might message somebody else, or I might just donate them to DI and be done with it, or Goodwill, or wherever. Doesn't matter. Um, anyway, that was kind of my something I've been avoiding that I did. I also messaged my son, which I did earlier this week, and he didn't respond back to me, which was okay. But then I messaged him again today, and then he's like, I'm sorry for not responding to you. But he still didn't respond to what I messaged him about a couple days ago. But he did respond about something else that I messaged him about today. And it made me feel good for having done that, because then I messaged him about something, and then I asked him what he was going to do. I messaged him about graduation, because he's graduating from high school this year. Oh, I can't believe he's graduating, but it's exciting that he's graduating. And one of my coworkers asked me what we were doing, if I was throwing him a party or something, and I was like, none of these things even registered in my brain. It's not even occurred to me to do any of these things with my son. So then I feel like a bad parent again. So then I asked him today, I messaged him, I'm like, hey, what are you doing for graduation? You're going to have a party? Are you going to do something? And he's like, no, I don't have any plans. And I was like, okay. And I'm like, well, maybe we should do something to celebrate. And he was like, that would be awesome. He's like, I would love that. So I was like, yay. He wants to spend time with me, which I love. And he wants to go do something to celebrate for his graduation. So um, I don't know what we're going to do yet. I'm going to let him figure that out. I don't know how I'm going to pay for that. So I'm going to have to figure that out. But um, I'm going to do that. So it's going to be okay. And um, it's going to be okay. And then I was talking to my Al Anon J friend yesterday, and I was talking about this job that I was interested in and applying for. And I really felt like God wanted me to look into it some more today, and I just didn't want to. I don't want to. I wanted to be excited about a job, take a job, quit the job that I have, um, just change jobs because I'm just ready for a change. I think it's an ADHD thing. Seriously, I'm like, I get done with something. I'm like, I'm so done. I'm so over it. I need something new. I need to learn something new. I need to be doing something. I need to be using my creativity. I need to be using my brain. And if I'm not, I feel like I'm bored and I'm stagnated. And then I mess up. I make mistakes. It's not good. So, I mean, I do like the place that I work. I like the people that I work with. It's just, I, it's just not a good fit for me as far as working there. I mean, and I've seen examples of where they go out of their way and they help people. I do wonderful things. So I'm like, it's great, and I want to be able to go keep going there after to use their services. I just don't want to be an employee there. So, um, yeah, because my dad's telling me I should not post stuff like about my job on social media or on videos because people watch them and might get back to my work and it might get me in trouble. I'm not trying to get myself in trouble with my work, and I'm not trying to say anything bad about my work. I just want a different job. And this other job that I was looking into would probably be an okay job for a second job because it really is just a part-time job. But I'm like, I don't know if I have the energy to do a second job. And then I was looking into the pay and how all of that works and all the stuff I'd have to go into it. And then I was like, this isn't feeling quite as exciting as it was yesterday. And then I was journaling about it before I made my videos tonight. And I was like, this is, this is hard for me because I get excited about things and I want to do them. And then I talk myself out of doing things because when I was growing up, my biological mom would always tell me all the reasons why I wouldn't like to do something. So I didn't try things. And so I talked myself out of them. And so this is where it turns into one of those kind of a trigger thing where I'm trying to figure out if I'm just overly excited about something and I'm just not thinking clearly and I'm just jumping in and doing something that may or may not be the right thing for me to do just because it sounds like fun or just because it's a change, just because it's something different. And I'll get in there and be like, this is so not what I thought it was going to be and I really don't like it. Or, if this is God just really trying to help me be like, okay, this does sound fun, this might be nice, and maybe you could do something similar, but maybe not this particular job, but maybe a job like this job. So I did apply for some other jobs today, just similar type things, and I might look for other similar jobs. But I realize there's just things about the job that I applied for that just really aren't me. I still feel like I could totally do the job and it would be totally okay, but I don't think that that's what I'm supposed to be doing because there's just things about it that aren't me. Like I don't believe in what they're doing. So I think it's really hard to go into a job and be like, I'm gonna do this, but I don't really believe it. And so that doesn't make for a good sales pitch kind of a thing. So um and it's an entertainment type job and it's kind of not really a sales thing, but I don't really have sales, but it's interacting with other people and telling stories basically, but they're stories I don't believe in. They're stories I don't believe. I don't want to give credit to things like that. And I'm like, to me, it's just all make believe and it's fun and it's fun and games. And that's all I would think about it. But I know that some people put a lot of credit into it and they buy into it and they believe it and they just gets over the top for me. And I'm just like, I don't buy into all of that stuff. I'm like, I just think it's fun. It's entertaining. It's entertainment to me, but I'm not into it and I don't want to get into it. I don't. So I don't know. Anyway, I'm over explaining. I really am. I'm sorry. I'm rambling because I'm tired because I didn't write all of this stuff in my journal because I'm like, I just don't want to face my feelings. I avoid them. See, I tell you, I avoid all of these things. And then I start making my videos and they all come out. I'm like, no, the whole point was to avoid them. Except that my videos, the whole point is to not avoid things. So I apologize for my just kind of um, spilling over and overanalyzing because that's what my brain does. I overanalyze everything. I overthink everything. I still try to be the people pleaser. I am trying to undo or retrain my brain from what I grew up with. And I'm trying to sort out the difference between is this something that I want to do that would be fun, that would be good for me? And I'm talking myself out of it because that's just what I've been taught and how I was treated growing up. And so it's just an old habit. And I'm going to be missing out on something if I talk myself out of it, or am I really genuinely like looking at this clearly from the way that God wants me to see it and going, this really isn't a good fit for me and I could totally jump into it and it might be fun for a while, but it's not going to last because it's not really something that I'm into. And so I'm kind of teeter-tottering on that one as to if this is a trigger or if I'm just trying to talk myself out of something that could be really good for me. So, because I do that. But it reminds me of like this time that I wanted to share an apartment with somebody and I wanted to move in, and Dad Shoemaker was like, "Can you afford to do it?" I was like, "Well, no, but my friend's going to pay the other half." And I'm like, "Can she pay the other half right now?" And I was like, "Well, no, I'm just going to put it on my credit card and then we'll figure it out from there." And he was like, "No, no, no. If you can't afford it by yourself, then you shouldn't be getting it because can't guarantee or trust the other person to pay for it." So even if she was somebody that was trustworthy and that she would have paid and it would have been fine, I think that was sound advice. And if I can't pay for it myself, so if something happens and she can't pay for it and I can't pay for it, I can't pay the whole thing, then I shouldn't be getting it. So even though I really, really wanted it, it was sound advice to not get it. And I ended up not doing it. And I was really disappointed because I really wanted to do it. But financially, I think I was better off listening to Dad Shoemaker's advice. So I kind of am torn between, is this a job that would be really good for me and it would be fun and I can totally do this? Or is this a job that, um, you know, it's going to be like that apartment and it really isn't a sound advice a good idea? I don't know the answer to that question yet. Like I said, overanalyzing. But the one thing I did figure out is that it really is a part-time job, and I would, even if I worked it 6 days a week, which I could do, it would only be part-time hours. I'd only be doing like 18 hours a week, maybe. And even at that, I would be making half what I'm making now, which for a part-time job doing two jobs, that would be great because I'm making like, one and a half, half what I'm making plus what I'm making. So it's like having an extra paycheck every month and getting like three paychecks a month instead of, just the two paychecks that I'm getting. So that would be great as far as a second job. But I don't want to work two jobs. I already flat out know I don't want to work two jobs. I'm tired and exhausted and don't have energy to do stuff that I want to do, like my videos and my writing and all of the other things I want to do with the job I currently have. I don't even know where I would come up with the energy to do two jobs. That's just insane. So I don't think that's a good idea for me at this point. And I could just do it on the weekends and just do like 9 hours. And that's not horrible, but I kind of just have to give up my weekends. And I'm not sure how I feel about giving up my weekends. So that's another thing that I have to try to decide if I want to give up my weekends for a while just so I can have a little bit of extra money. But then it's like half a paycheck. It's not even going to be a whole paycheck. I mean, a whole paycheck for what I'm at now. I'll get a whole paycheck there. It'll just be a lot less. So again, not sure it's worth it. So anyway, if you have any comments, suggestions, ideas to help me out of my lovely little blunders and or dilemmas, because my brain goes all over the place, I am open to suggestions and ideas. Doesn't mean I'll follow them or do them, but I'm open to listening and to reading and trying to contemplate things because, again, I overanalyze everything. And I'm super afraid of making mistakes because I have this perfectionism in me. I want to get it perfect. So it's either that all or nothing thing where I have to do it all or I can't do it, can't do any. And this is something where I could maybe do part time and I could maybe do it for a little bit. And it doesn't have to be permanent and it doesn't have to be full time. It could just be on the side for fun. I don't know that I've ever done that. I don't know how I feel about that. So I'm on the fence with the whole idea at the moment. But we'll see what happens. Anyway, that was kind of something that I chose to delve into this morning because I felt like God wanted me to, even though I didn't really want to. This probably goes in my I don't want to do things video instead of my facing things I'm avoiding video, but it is getting me to face my emotions and face the reality of things because I live in a fantasy world in my own little bubble and I make up how things are going to work. I'm like, this sounds like the perfect little dream job and it's all going to work out and it's going to do X, Y, Z. And then when it doesn't, I end up being like overly devastated and depressed and my life is completely over because I float from one extreme to the other. I don't know how to live in the middle. So actually trying to analyze it, sort it out, live in reality before I make a decision is facing reality today. And I don't like facing reality. So I'm facing my reality today. I'm facing what could actually be the reality of what it would be and trying to determine if that's a good idea for me or not. And I'm kind of leaning towards not because I just don't want to work two jobs and because I just find the concept entertaining, but I don't really buy into it. So, but I know I would be working with people that do buy into it. Some of them do buy into it. Some of it are probably just there purely for the entertainment and don't have a problem with that. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm on the fence with that one. So anyway, thank you for listening to me and for letting me ramble. And I'm sorry I don't have the best things that I'm facing when it comes to avoiding. I'm still learning. I'm still struggling to get myself to face things I don't want to do. And I stay up all night till 1 o'clock in the morning or later, avoiding what I'm supposed to be doing. And then I do it so that I can make my videos so that I can go to bed. And I really wish that I would do it a lot sooner in the day so that I could go to bed a lot earlier so that I could actually get some sleep. And I would like to stop avoiding sleep. That would be really nice. Anyway, because sleep might actually help me figure out a whole lot of things. And then I wouldn't ramble and just verbally just throw everything out there, just be like, blah. Anyway, that's all I have for today. If you like these videos, you can hit like, subscribe, share with someone else if you think they'll like it too. And I hope you have a great day full of gratitude and maybe find something to face that you've been avoiding, and maybe it'll help you be better. And maybe you'll be better at facing the things you're avoiding than I am. So if you are, let me know what your tricks are. Seriously, I need help with this one. And that's all I have for today. Thank you.